And here we go. Murray looks in. Throws it off over to Jokic in the corner. Shoot the three, Joker. He does. Fading out of bounds. Got it! Oh, man! Right over DeAndre Ayton. He was in the corner falling out of bounds. Man, Larry Bird's somewhere smiling right now. that partially went over the backboard.
That was a crazy shot. Every shot was crazy last night. The Michael Malone Show is brought to you by the Central City Casino Parkway. Take I-70 to exit 243. The Central City Parkway, your 4 lanes to fun. Coach of the Denver Nuggets, Michael Malone, joins us now. Coach, that was crazy last night. I mean, 79% from two-point land. 79%. Like, every shot was going in. I mean,
a lot of layups.
Whatever. I mean, were you sitting there? I mean, a lot of crazy layups.
Yeah.
Jamal did a 360. Christian's doing a million different things. It was, Coach, how are you? I just should start there. How you doing, Coach? Sorry about that.
Surely you digress. I'm doing well. It's always nice to win 7 games in a row and to be playing at a high level this time of the season. And what's remarkable is, we've won 7 in a row. Russell Westbrook's been out for 6 of those. Peyton Watson has been out for 6 of those. And, we just find a way to continue to play at a really high level offensively. And in that 7-game win streak, obviously our defense is much improved. And if you look at the ups and downs of our season, when we win and we win consistently, our defense is usually in lockstep with their offense, and that's been the case as of late.
Here's what I'm thinking, and I'm curious what your thought is. I think you guys are kind of badass intimidating right now. Like, there is just a swagger that you guys got going that I find pretty unique and intimidating. I don't know if you feel that same way, but that's what it feels like when I'm watching you guys out on the court right now.
Well, I can't speak for the other people, obviously, whether we're intimidating or not. I think when you prepare to play the Denver Nuggets, I think you have to be thinking about, okay, this team, after starting off the season 11-10, they're 24-9 since December 8th. And in that time, they have an elite offense and they have an improved defense. You have a guy that, in my opinion, should be a 4-time MVP that's playing the best basketball he's ever played. And when you just think about that statement, Nikola Jokic is playing the best basketball he's ever played. This is a 3-time MVP, an NBA champion, a finals MVP, a multiple-time starting all-star, led all players in all-star votes this year, and he's playing the best ball of his life. Jamal Murray, since that December 8th date, has been just incredible, efficient, aggressive, productive. Michael Porter. So I can imagine when you look to prepare against us, man, how do you stop a team that's number 1 in fast break points, number 1 in paint points, number 1 in assists per game, and has a lot of weapons? I just love coaching that group. Whether we intimidate people or not, I have no idea, but I just hope that we can find a way to win another game tomorrow night and go into the All-Star break feeling really good about ourselves, get rested, and come out of that break and attack the rest of the season.
Coach, you already mentioned the injuries you've been struggling with. And, AG obviously has missed over 20 games. Russ and Peyton are banged up. But Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, both guys that have been in and out of the lineup. And I am curious if you've learned anything about your bench, your younger guys, that maybe you wouldn't have had a chance to learn without these injuries.
Well, I think Jalen Pickett is a great answer to that question, because if we're fully healthy and Russell Westbrook and Jamal Murray are playing every night, then Jalen Pickett likely does not get a chance to play real minutes. And because Jamal has missed games this year, I think missed 7, because Russell Westbrook has missed 6 in a row since getting hurt in the Philadelphia game, Jalen Pickett has been allowed to play this year, and real minutes, rotation minutes. And every game he plays, he does something a little bit more surprising, and you can see how confident he is, how aggressive he is. 9 assists, no turnovers last night. Tremendous job by him as a point guard, setting up his teammates, making their jobs easier, playing good defense. And so I think he's a guy that stands out to me. And the other guy lately would be, with Michael not starting, Julian Strawther, who's been a key piece for us all season long off the bench. But now he's started the last 3 games. And after the first game of starting where he struggled a little bit, the last 2 games, I think he's been, been outstanding for us. He's been aggressive. Last night, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and was a plus 15 in the 34 minutes that he played. So that's what you love about the silver lining of injuries, is that you play other guys. Now they have confidence, and now as you approach the end of the season, you have that many more guys that you feel comfortable playing in meaningful situations.
And here's the funny thing about you. I'm going to go back, old buddy Scott buying Michael Malone a beer at 19 when he had a fake ID. Don't tell your kids that story.
Wow.
Yeah. But I know you've got a heart, and I know you feel for these guys, and I know you've got also a soul of basketball, from the time you were young, and your dad was a coach and all that stuff. There's a benefit for playing these guys, but then the reality of this is the NBA. And when healthy, these guys that have been so important to you for these 7-game runs, you changed back a starting lineup and had Christian on the bench for a while, and now all he's done is since he's back in the lineup is you've won 7. He's averaging over 18 points a game. There will come a time where decisions are going to be tough, and I know they pay you the big money. You got the head coach on the title of the door and all that stuff. But that still has to eat at you at time, doesn't it? Okay, hey, thanks. I'm gonna get you in when I can, but it gets tough when you guys get healthy, doesn't it?
Oh, there's no doubt, and that's a great problem to have. I mean, if you have a team when you're fully healthy and you have to make tough decisions, and some guys are not going to be able to play, that's a good problem to have. That's one that I would love to have. It beats the alternative, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And when that time comes, when we are fully healthy, to your point, it is my job to make those decisions and to have those conversations. But underneath all that, it does give me great comfort, because there's no way in hell we're going to go from tomorrow night's game on February 12th all the way through the end of the regular season and not have any more injuries. And knock on wood, hopefully when you get to the postseason, you can stay healthy. But what I now know is that if we have injuries, we have some guys on the bench that are willing and able and have shown that they can go out there and get the job done. And that gives me great confidence in our entire group, not just maybe the starting 5 and a couple of other guys, because you're always short in your rotation in the postseason. Well, you know what? We've seen that we have some guys that can go out there and get the job done. And that's comforting and gives me great confidence at the same time.
And you guys have never done this, but doesn't that also make it easier to say, hey, Jamal, or hey, Michael, or hey, Russ, take an extra day? Because let's be honest, there's been teams when you need wins, and guys will come back maybe sooner, and then there's that nagging calf or that nagging hamstring that just stays with you. The comfort of knowing that these guys have come in and have been solid, it allows you guys then a little cushion to say, hey, let's be cautious with this injury and not rush anything. Not that you guys ever have really rushed anything and bringing people back.
No, I think it's a very valid point, though, because, all right, we've won 7 in a row. And, Peyton Watson's not a part of this conversation because his injury, he's going to be out for a considerable amount more time. But let's just say instead of winning 7 in a row, we've lost 7 in a row. And now you're looking at Russell Westbrook and Michael Porter, and I'm having conversations like, hey, man, if you think you can go, we could really use your help.
Right.
And doing so, but while also being, let's not be foolhardy here, because you have to have eyes on the prize and a much bigger picture. But obviously right now, having won 7 in a row and you have one game going into the break, it would be great if Russell Westbrook and Michael Porter could continue to rehab and get treatment and use this time to get healthy. And so now, as I mentioned earlier, if you're fully healthy coming out of the break, and we've been talking a lot about Hubie Brown lately, rightfully so. One thing Hubie Brown told my father, who told me, at the All-Star break, going in and coming out is a great time of year to steal games. And for us to go 7 in a row, see what we can do tomorrow night, and we got to have the same mindset coming out of the break to steal as many games and to keep our rhythm going in the right direction.
Should I mention a stat that would jinx everything, or should I just leave it alone? Do you believe in jinxes and stuff there, Coach?
Yeah, we're athletes, all believe.
You should Probably leave it alone.
Leave it alone. All right, because I'll just leave it alone.
What I've heard, what I've come to realize in life, Dmac, is this: if you have to ask that question, you probably shouldn't ask it.
Exactly.
All right, I'll leave it alone, but it's cool. I'll just leave it alone.
It's like back in my neighborhood, people say, "Hey, no disrespect, but
Yeah,
you're about
right.
to get disrespected."
Right.
You're about to get disrespected. He just doesn't want to get punched when he disrespects
I'm not
you.
going to say a damn word then. All right, why did Jamal get thrown out of that game last night? What was going on there?
That was stupid.
You know, it was an emotional game. It always is. And Jamal, I thought, was having a great game.
Yeah.
And he felt he was being held and grabbed and pushed. And he got the first tech right after I got my tech. And then after that, he had an unbelievable finish at the rim. He gets fouled. And there's a lot of stuff being talked. And then Jamal went to the free throw line to shoot his free throw.
Yeah.
And, you know, I felt they kind of baited him into it. He did his job. He tried to disengage, and the other player kind of engaged him, and he took the bait. And, you know, it was unfortunate to see him go. And I haven't seen that happen with Jamal very often.
So it was just trash. It was just trash talk. That was it.
It was.
That was it.
Oh yeah.
It was a
man.
and listen, I'll say it, and this is
Come
me
on.
and not coach, is made by official who you will not see once the playoff comes because he's not that good.
Okay. That is definitely Scott saying that.
And I just want to make sure everybody knows that was Scott.
That was me.
That was Scott Hayes.
Hey.
That was Scott Hayes
Not
saying
Michael
that.
Malone.
No.
But hey.
I'm just saying.
Hey,
man.
just wink at me at the press conference tomorrow so I know that you know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you got to have some thicker skin. This is how the fellas actually play. This is part of the game. This is the way it goes. You can't be throwing superstars out of NBA games.
Yeah, absolutely.
For
But
stuff
I
like
will
that.
say this, and I was thinking this. I was doing sidelines last night, and it gives you a whole nother perspective because you can see stuff and you can watch more and you can look at different things and you watch some other. You just get to watch more. And right when all this is going down, because it's getting chippy. I mean, Nicola's getting blasted about 5 times and getting no calls either. And I'm watching. I'm going. These are the kind of games is why you don't play back-to-back playoff-style games in the regular season because I promise you, and I'm not. This is not braggadocio or anything else. I promise you, if this was 1990, there would be a fight in the first 5 minutes of this game come Wednesday night. And maybe we've moved past that, and hopefully we have, and all that. But I don't like playing teams the same in the regular season because of just what we saw last night. It got chippy last night for today's NBA.
Oh, it definitely did. And as you mentioned, the league has changed. Back when you were, in the league and the Pistons were the bad boys, there was a lot of, physicality, a lot of hate, a lot of emotion.
A lot of hate.
I don't think we'll see that tomorrow night. The league has just changed. The players are wired a little bit differently. So I think we'll both go out there and try to do our jobs and let the game speak for itself. But, it's part of it, man. Like, as you approach an all-star break, people think it's a halfway point. It's not the halfway point.
Oh, yeah.
We played a lot of basketball, and guys are tired mentally, physically, emotionally, and that's why I really applaud our group for winning 7 games in a row. We played a Phoenix team that had a lot of guys out. We handled our business. We played Portland last night. They had some key guys out. We handled our business.
Mm-hmm.
We're worrying about ourselves right now, and if we can continue to do that, just worry about ourselves, be the best version of ourselves every night, then we're going to give ourselves a chance. You think about some of the numbers last night. 44 assists, only 10 turnovers.
Crazy.
88 paint points. I know, and Scott, like you said, a lot of layups. You're right. But we'll take a lot of layups.
Heck
88
yeah.
in the paint is crazy, and 29-12 in transition. So that team in Portland had gone 10-2 in the last 12 games, and in that stretch, very impressively, give Chauncey Billups a lot of credit, they were the number 1 defense in that stretch. And for us to do what we did last night was just incredible. Now, can we replicate that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we do a better job of defending the three-point line? Can we keep them off the foul line tomorrow night? Their bench scored 62 points. So there's a lot of things that we can improve upon for tomorrow night and try to get our 8th win in a row, as I keep on mentioning.
At one time, you all are up at 21. It might have been towards the end of the third quarter. You'd only made 5 threes.
Yeah, threes didn't even matter yesterday because the shooting percentage, it really was. It was like everybody, all the, the muggles, the journalists there, coach, were looking it up. It was from what we could tell, it was the second best shooting night in Denver Nuggets history. Like there was some game back in 2008 that, the Nuggets shot more like 70%. But seriously, Coach, it was analytically, it may have been the second, third, whatever, best shooting game ever
History.
in Nuggets history. That's crazy when you think about that.
Yeah, I think there was a game earlier in the season where we had offensive numbers that have never been done before across the board. I mean, so offensively, we know that we're good, we know that we're talented, we know that we have a lot of firepower. But the reality is this, and people who listen to this show, the few people that do,
Exactly.
they understand that if this team is going to do anything, the defense has to improve. And the last 7 it has. We've been fortunate to play a schedule where we're playing some teams that aren't up in the standings. But to our credit, if you can go 21-5 against teams below 500, those are the games that you have to win. And we've done that. And there's a positivity in that. But if we're going to be a dangerous team, it can't be just our offense is lethal. Our defense has to bring something to the party. And they have been lately, and that has to continue.
God, my mom was killing me about that. But people who listen to this show, she was just all over me about that. All right, a couple of quick hitters for you there, Coach. One, can you share? You got any vacation plans after you get done with tomorrow? I know you're laser focused on tomorrow. But after that, you got any little getaway, rest, relax, sort of, shake the cobwebs?
Yeah, I'm going to head down to the Gulf of America.
Gulf of
There
America.
you go, buddy. Way to go. Way to go.
Gulf of America. That's awesome. All right, last one for me then, too. What did you think of the Kendrick Lamar halftime show?
I mean, they are calling it the Gulf of America, right?
Yeah,
They
put
are,
it on
you're right.
maps yesterday.
You're right.
I mean, I had 2 choices. I could go to Mount McKinley, a little cold. And, so I figured I'd head down south and go down to the Gulf of America.
All right.
The halftime show, it was really nice because the best part about Super Bowl Sunday was I was home with my wife and my 2 daughters.
Nice.
They both came back from college.
Oh, cool.
So that was the best part about Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah, I mean, sure. I guess it was a great halftime show.
I couldn't tell if that was country or Western.
And there was, I guess, as I read after the fact, that there were so many hidden things in there.
Yes.
And his beef with Drake and just everything going on. So I missed most of it, but very, very talented. I enjoyed it. My wife and girls enjoyed it. And if they're happy, I'm happy.
That's the way to go.
That's the way.
All right, laser focus tomorrow night. Laser.
He's not that laser focused. He knows all the Drake and Kendrick beef. I mean, come on,
Dude,
Coach.
He is an educated, learned man.
I'm not gonna lie, Coach. I didn't know anything about it, and I spent like 3 hours going down like wormholes about. I know it all now, but it was like, what the, my lord, that was I'll never get that time back. All right, best of luck tomorrow night, Coach, and enjoy the Gulf of America.
Yeah, probably won't talk to you for a couple weeks.
I know. We'll just chill in the Gulf of America. That's good. Get that done.
Catch you a big tuna fish there in the Gulf of America.
You weren't expecting that answer. I know that.
That was great.
That was a good answer.
Great.
That was a good
All right,
answer.
we appreciate
the break and look forward to catching up with you after.
All right, sounds
See you
good,
guys.
Coach. The Michael Malone Show brought to you by the Central City Casino Parkway. Take I-70 to